Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three, four. Can everybody hear me okay? Well, I tell you, I'm in a sort of a mobile setup. Uh, I've got my laptop and an extra screen, and I'm at the place we're going to be conducting the classes in October. And we had quite a runaround today with the hurricane that came through. It took out our electricity, and I went I went back and forth to a city called Nocte where we have the office, and electricity was out there. I ended up watching the news this morning. It's very interesting. You ought to keep this in the back of your mind, might help you. If you're ever looking for internet, I was at Dunkin' Donuts, and the Dunkin' Donuts internet was actually pretty good. So, and plus you get coffee, when you're there. But I think the I think the focus would be that today is sort of what I call an inside day. We'll cover that, but anyway, I wanted to put this first slide here. Get joined to Telegram. We're using more and more Telegram to communicate to you, and got several ways to join and be part of T-Buzz TV as well as everything else that we do. But today my pivot number was 58.16. And after the first 30 or 40 minutes, the market gave that up, and we spent the rest of the day going sideways and churning. And there's a big lesson today I want everybody to see, and I got one slide that's going to show that. But next week's going to be a good week, and we had a good week coming into the day. There's risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, the market itself is resting. Maybe it's resting to get the rest of the country that wasn't dealing with the hurricane. That was a big hurricane, affected Georgia, Florida, and I guess it's affecting some other states as it goes north. A lot of wind, probably more wind than I've ever seen. And I've been through a few hurricanes, so a lot of wind. Now, today I want to discuss a quick and dirty setup that will help you analyze the market. And the value of this is to help give you what I would call an insight to get in that trend. Yeah, Jonathan, are you recording this?
We're live on YouTube, so YouTube should be going, but I'll do a backup just in case.
All right. I was working with Roger and Roger Sessions. He's in for some one-on-one training, and I was trying to come up with a way to give him a quick and dirty approach for figuring out the market. And I came up with this. I'm going to share it with y'all. But anyway, this is numbers for today. It's I do this every evening where I take the week open. I look at the 2-day high, 2-day low. I'm trying to catch that trend for that 24-hour market for option entry and option exit. I have a pivot number, and something that I put a lot of emphasis on, and it's the 430 high and low. Now, you don't have to get up like I do and see this market develop, but you really need to know these numbers when the day starts. And you can build this little spreadsheet for yourself, and I think it will help you. But if you look there, 5803, 5796, that is sort of the frame of that 430 low and 430 high. And if you look at the Seven Sisters and just go through this, if you look at crude oil or look at, I guess the best one would be looking at the NASDAQ, that 318,292, and you see on the NASDAQ right now we're 242. So you would have heads up, that the NASDAQ is going to be weak today when it breaks that number, and you get a down bar later on. Maybe on a reference bar or on Genesis. And then you just come down the deal. Look at gold. Gold's correcting today. It's still bullish, but today the 2686, 2684 was that zone, and gold right now is 2670, which tells you that it was going to be a little weak. So if we're going to take some profit on gold, which has been very bullish, you might have took profit early in the day. Okay. That's AM in the morning, Eastern time. And so I just like to give you things that will really help you get better at this game because it makes me look better if you make some money and you got some numbers and then I'll tell you a funny story because like I said, last night we had I finished teaching all day and last night I did my numbers real fast and I had the wrong number in here, and that cost me a little money today because I always double check it, but I didn't this time, and I found this morning I had the wrong number. Jonathan said something to me, that ain't right, and I went and looked it up, and I did. Somehow I copied the wrong number, and so I would tell you double check your work. I didn't do it, and I paid a little minor price for doing that. And I'd share that with you. Check it twice. There's some saying about checking it twice or something, be nice or something, but anyway, always check it twice. But these are numbers, and if you look at I'll show you a stock, there that's pretty interesting to me. Berkshire. Did everybody see Berkshire Hathaway? Look at Berkshire. Notice the week open is 57, the 2-day high is 57. I'm blocked and I can't tell you what it is, but somebody tell me Berkshire where it is for the day. Berkshire. Just look at Berkshire for me. That'd be great if you do that. Okay? Because Berkshire today, if you look at it, I just want to show it to you because it's very interesting to see this, see a stock, because I give numbers on Sunday night, and I can tell you right now, looking at Berkshire, let's just look at it. The Berkshire had a high of 458.27 today. Everybody see that? 458.27. So I can tell you right now with about 80% accuracy, if Berkshire goes above today's high, 58.27, I'd say 58.55, I'll be buying some options or buying some more stock of Berkshire. That's an example of the power of what I'm showing you, okay? So that's what these numbers tell me today looking at Berkshire. Any questions how I came to that conclusion? It made a 2-day high going into Monday, and it's in the top third if you look at it, okay? Dave, if you go check, it went to a high of 458. It went to 458. The current bid's 457.82, 458 right now. So it's been to the 58.27. Okay, my quotes say that. But anyway, this is an example of what the sheet can do for you if you take the time to do it. And it's a real value for you, I think. Now let's look at one more real quick because this is fun for me. Look at the E-mini, 57.62, 2-day high 58.30, 2-day low 57.68. Notice that the E-mini today, if you look at the E-mini was trading inside. It's currently 57.98. Notice it's sort of just up and down, not doing a whole lot. But if it goes above that 58.03, 04 area, then that's a good close if you see it. Okay, you'll see it. Next slide, please. Keep things simple. You can even grab a starting pivot number each day from barchart.com via the trader's cheat sheet. You go into bar chart. I don't know if he gave you an example. Yeah, example. ES Futures bar chart cheat sheet, and it gives it to you right there. But it gives you the pivot number that they use, and you're going to show it right there. And what's that pivot number? And that's the E-mini? What is it?
Yeah, that's the E-mini pivot 5804 today.
That's a future, E-mini's future. Everybody see that 5884? For quick and dirty, you can go there and get it the night before. Y'all want to do that yourself where you can find it in case anybody's got any questions how to find it? I was with Roger, and the reason I'm saying that, I want to give y'all time. Go to barchart.com, type in ESZ24, okay? Barchart.com.
Yeah,
And you did it a different way, right, Jonathan? How'd you do it?
yeah, because the futures expire, it might be easier for folks if you just Google search, for instance, ES futures bar chart cheat sheet. It will automatically bring up the current contract and say cheat sheet like it does here down on bar chart, or at least on this little snapshot right here.
And it goes right to it. I've never done it that way. I've done it the old fashioned way, I guess. But anyway, and then go showing the page. It's important.
Yeah, pay. We can look at it live if you want.
Yeah. There it is right there. See that 5804? Everybody see that?
And you can see over here on the left column under technicals, it even has a spot for a trader's cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Scroll down to.
But anyway, I just thought that would help people, and I wanted to show it to you. And Roger was just taken back when I showed it to him about how I know stuff like this. And no one ever talks about this stuff. So I said, why don't I show it to you? Thanks. Okay. Next slide, please. Now, the problem this morning was the NASDAQ. If you were watching the NASDAQ this morning, E-mini wanted to fly. If you were watching this morning, it stayed above, it was 14, 16. It wanted to fly. Actually went up to, the E-mini actually went up to 21. But the NASDAQ, the weight of the NASDAQ was headed down. And you had a negative reference bar where you had a positive reference bar with E-mini, and the NASDAQ won out. And I wish I'd told Jonathan to put it in here. You could see NVIDIA gave up the ghost. NVIDIA was the reason that was coming down. And NVIDIA, if you look at NVIDIA, NVIDIA had a bad day. NVDA, after looking so strong, NVIDIA so strong, it had a bad day today. And if you look at NVIDIA, it's at 120.12, and it was at 124, holding 124 yesterday. So it gave up the ghost today. And so that's the reason the NASDAQ came down. I always check NVIDIA when I see the NASDAQ diverging from the E-mini. And there's NVIDIA, and anyway, rest is history. All right, let's keep going. Now, the Seven Sisters performance this week. Take in today with what happened. You're still bullish on the E-mini. You're still bullish on the NASDAQ. You're still bullish on the Dow. And you're still bullish on gold. They're trying to take your money by convincing you it's over. Well, we're not going to know if it's over until next week. But today was an inside day, I say it, and I'll explain that in a second, okay? But look at that, very bullish week. That's why we were so strong making money this week, but we ran into a headwind today, which was an inside day. Write that down. Inside day are like Mondays. You've got to pull your hand off the mouse or you'll chop yourself up, okay? All right. Let's keep going. Okay. There's the ES closer look. Let's look at it and ask ourselves. The August high was 57.29. Here's a question for you. Did we make a new monthly high in September? Look at my slide. Did we? I want to see everybody say yes if we did. Okay. Did we make a new monthly low in September? The reason I'm bringing this up is because guess what? We got one more day of September, and clearly we haven't made a new monthly low. If you drew a chart for August yourself by hand, you'd have a high at 57.29, a low at 51.69 in August. Then you roll over to September, you'd have a higher high and a higher low. That's a bullish trend month over month. Does everybody see that? What I'm trying to show you mentally, if you draw it out on a piece of paper. So the month is a bullish month. Okay. I want you to see that. Now let's take this same analysis to week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. Week 1's high was 57.30. Week 1's low was 54.51. Let's go to week 2. Week 2, we didn't make a new high, but we didn't make a new low, did we? We had an inside week. That's called an inside week on week 2. Everybody see that? Week 3, did we make a new low? No. Did we make a new high? No. Guess what? We had 2 inside weeks from week 2 to week 3. Now, here's the key. Week 4. Y'all remember when I said if the market goes above 57.55, we're going higher? Y'all remember that from that Fed meeting? And we did. So right now, going into next week, unless we break 57.45, I would expect us to go back up. That's the analysis. I want you to do this yourself. You can do it for any market you want to. You can do it for any market, and you're going to come away with the conclusion that I come away with. We ought to be bullish. Okay, next slide. Gold. Okay. This is how I called the low. If you go back and look at Valentine's Day, I was doing my analysis. I did the inflation adjusted high, all-time high, and it came out to 2,700. Well, this week we hit 2,708. So we asked ourselves, month over month, is gold bullish? You tell me. Month over month, is gold bullish? Yes, it is. Now let's go to September, week by week. Second week of September, higher high, higher low. Third week of September, higher low, higher high. Fourth week of September, higher high, higher low. Folks, does everybody see how this fits together with the way I trade with gold? It should. This should be eye-opening. I don't think I've ever showed people this, but doing my one-on-one with Roger, I wanted to get into the granular portion of how I come up with my deals, okay? And this is it. Okay. You got my numbers, okay? Next. News next week, Jonathan. I want you to go through the news.
News next week, we got Chicago PMI and Powell speaking on Monday. Tuesday, we got global manufacturing PMI and ISM manufacturing PMI and JOLTS job openings. Wednesday, we got ADP non-farm employment change, crude oil inventories. There's also an OPEC meeting on Wednesday morning. Thursday is jobless claims and non-manufacturing PMI. And then Friday, we got the jobs report, non-farm payrolls.
All right, out of all that news he just said, you know what I locked in on for next week? Friday, the jobs report. Out of all that news, there's only one big mama report, and that's next Friday. That's what I locked in. Okay, thank you. Now let's go look at the new MTI. And Jonathan, why don't you take it from here?
Yeah, MTI codes are released for all MTI members. You can find them in the members area now. There's also a support video that walks you through how to download and install. The new chart looks like this, a little simpler. And Tom could explain more, but it's a lot simpler. And I would recommend for all those of you that had MPI before, just save this one as a new one. You might want to keep the old ones and have the new ones fresh. It's also important to note that the new daily chart, new indicator for the daily chart is only for the daily chart. We still want to keep the prior MTI for the intraday charts. we're going to be going through this, I'm sure, next week in the afternoon sessions that we have. So if you have MTI, just be sure to tune in for those if you need some more help. But that support video I created today should be a big help to you. Okay, Don, this is fresh to me as well, except for our short conversation earlier today on it. But looks like you've got some new stamps on here for, it says long exit, new short, come over here, short exit, new buy.
Yeah, we tried to be a little bit more specific. This ties into the scanner, which probably gives you a better analysis rather than looking at the chart. Can we go to the scanner? Let me show him what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm a simple guy when it comes to trading. I like to look at the market and get the right side, okay? And when I do that, I can look at the scanner and I do it by color form. And what happens is, if you look at this, you will see that we got a new thing there. It says to go. Everybody see that thing that says to go? It gives you a warning that we're approaching a buy or a sell, okay? And that's what to go means. And then you see the red meaning sell, and you see the green meaning you ought to be looking to be long. It's simple, but any ticker you put in there, it will give you the summary. And then I take the summary and then I go into my roadmap and look at my reference bars and things like that for entry. But it's a very simple way to use MTI by DTI to get on the right side. This is version 5, Carol, version 5, V5.
Yeah, I think Carol, since you asked, I think the charts are version 4 and the scanner is version 5, or vice versa, or flip that around, vice versa.
But this is MTI, and we'll do some more training on it later. But I just wanted you to see the simplicity that we've made it now. This is, generation 5, as they say, okay? Gen 5. And it's going to get better and better as we go further and further into it. Okay?
All right, so good deal. So like Tom said, we're going to have further education on this. And of course, every day next week in the afternoon sessions, we'll probably run through how to install and some more information about it as well. What do you say we go to the roadmap, Tom?
Let's go look at the live market and see what's going on. Put a daily up there, if you will, daily chart.
S&P daily chart.
So we have what we call an inside day, the proverbial hands off the mouse. Everybody see that? An inside day. Now, the only thing you can trade on an inside day effectively is reference bars. And reference bars can be traded on in they can only be traded honestly with the futures market. I wouldn't touch them with options because I don't know if you noticed or not. When I saw it was an inside day early this morning, I stepped aside on a couple options, and because I said I'll get back in Tuesday. That's what I said. Because those things, the thing about options, I tell this to people all the time. Options are fantastic ways to trade the market. The problem is if you got a stagnant market, okay, if you got a stagnant market, that premium starts coming out real fast. And so making that decision early with the stagnant market allowed me to step aside with a minor hit what I can pick up next week, no problem. And I had a little room with what I'd done this week. So I said, screw it. We'll go to Tuesday and knock it out of the park. That was my thinking. So, especially with the fact that I didn't have my normal screen, I didn't have everything I needed, but I had just enough to sort of monitor. So, right now the market is trading. The S&P is still inside. It's trading at 57.98. No, Dave. No. The beauty of that is the fact that the average hold period for that particular strategy is 4 days. And the way I count, we had 1 day. Okay. Anything else, Jonathan, you want to cover?
I think that wrapped up the slides. You've talked over and over again in this afternoon session on the market. So
Yeah. Yeah,
there's
I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna invite everybody here, Jonathan, to come Sunday night. I'll do some more numbers like you saw today, give you a better thing. But next week, everybody, the inside day today was recognized early, and we just gotta wait till we get a mover with volume and everything else. Jonathan, I think this wraps me up. Thank you.
all right, thank you. And you know, that big hurricane came through, and I'm glad you're safe, and hope everybody else in Florida is safe. I know there's a lot of damage, but let me share the slides again and we'll wrap up the week.
One of my futures guys just made some money with the training I gave him. I'm glad to hear that. Jonathan, thanks for your help. I'll see everybody on the flip side. I'm going to shut it down and focus on something else, like how to hit a golf ball.
Sounds good. All right, Tom. We'll
See
see you
ya.
Sunday night.